Good morning, children. Welcome back to the online class of Sri Kogulam Public School, Vattagara. Dear students, welcome back to the history class. I hope all of you understood the last part of the lesson from trade to territory. Did you face any difficulty to follow the lesson? I hope all of you completed the notes. If you face any difficulty to follow, please contact me. Can we start the next part of this lesson? Are you ready to listen? Okay? Okay. Then now we can start the next part of this lesson, that was the direct military attack. Last class we discussed the British, they reached to India for trade purpose, but gradually they established their political power in India. What were the various measures they adopted to establish their political power in India? One of the method, that was the direct military attack, that we wanted to discuss today's class. Here, some of the powerful rulers of Indian states, they were not ready to accept the demands of the East India Company. So, East India Company, they decided to attack these regions and to annex these regions along with the East India Company's territories. Okay, that we can discuss here now. Then first of all, we can discuss about the Mysore. How did the East India Company, they acquired the territory of Mysore? Listen, Mysore, it was under the control of Vodaya dynasty. Mysore was ruled by the Vodaya dynasty. Later, one of the commander-in-chief of the army of Vodaya dynasty, Hyder Ali, he became the ruler. Then after his death, his son Tipu Sultan, he became the ruler. And both of these, Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan, they were so powerful. They were not ready to accept the demands of the East India Company. So, what did East India Company do? East India Company followed a military attack to conquer these areas. Please see here, Hyder Ali, he became the ruler of Mysore from 1761 to 1782, and after his death, Tipu Sultan from 1782 to 1799. Understood? Okay. Then please listen. The picture, Hyder Ali and his son Tipu Sultan. They were the powerful Mysore rulers. Okay. Then here, why did the British attack the Mysore? That I told you that because these two rulers, they were so powerful and they were not ready to accept the demands of the East India Company. Then one of the demands, here the profitable trade of the Malabar coast, that was controlled by the Mysore rulers. Clear? The profitable trade of the Malabar coast, that was controlled by the Mysore rulers, and the company, they purchased the cardamom as well as the pepper from this Malabar coast. But later, these powerful Mysore rulers, they did not allow them to collect the goods from these areas. And in 1785, Tipu Sultan, then he did not allow them to export the goods from his kingdom, and as well as did not allow the local merchants to engage the trade relation with the East India Company. So, then East India Company declared war against these Mysore rulers. Okay. Another reason, Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan, they made a close relation with the French. Okay, another European country, and they tried to modernize their army with the support of the French. That was also one of the reasons for the attack of the Mysore rulers by the East India Company. Clear? And the British, please listen, the British saw Hyder and Tipu Sultan as the dangerous, and they started to attack these Mysore rulers. They conducted East India Company conducted 4 wars against Mysore, and the first Mysore War or Anglo-Mysore War, it was from 1767 to 1769, and the second one 1780 to 1784. Then next is 1790 to 1792, and the last one that was in 1799. And then here the East India Company, they ultimately won in this war. Okay, that was at the battlefield of Seringapattam. From there, they defeated the Tipu Sultan in the year 1799. Listen, and then Mysore was placed under the former Wadayar dynasty, and they introduced subsidiary alliance. Did you remember what is meant by subsidiary alliance? Subsidiary alliance means then the rulers were not allowed to appoint their own military forces. Instead of that, East India Company appointed the forces to protect the rulers. But the rulers, they wanted to pay to these forces. If they failed to pay, the territories were taken by the East India Company as penalty. The subsidiary alliance they introduced in Mysore. Please see the chart. The first Mysore War between then the British and the Mysore rulers. The British, they got the support of Marathas as well as the Nizam of Hyderabad and Arcot. The same time, then Hyder Ali, he got the support of the French army. Listen, and with the support of the French army, he defeated the Nizam of Arcot and reached up to Madras. But at last, the British, they won in the war. And then after that, the second Anglo-Mysore War between the British and the Mysore rulers. Mysore rulers, Tipu Sultan and Hyder Ali. Okay, the British under Sir Ayub Khan, and Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan, they got the support of the French army. Listen, and then at first they acquired more and more territories, but later Hyder Ali, he died in this battle, and Tipu Sultan, then he entered into a treaty with the British or the East India Company known as the Mangalore Treaty. As per the treaty, the war ended. Now we can see the third Anglo-Mysore War between the East India Company as well as the Mysore rulers. During this time, the Mysore ruler Tipu Sultan and the English, they got the support from the Travancore kings as well as the Nizams and the Marathas. In this war, the British won and they humiliated Tipu Sultan, and half of his territories were taken by the East India Company, and Tipu Sultan was forced to pay the war expenses also. Did you clear? And the next one, the fourth Anglo-Mysore War between the Mysore ruler Tipu Sultan and the British. At that time, Lord Wellesley, he became the Governor General. They got the support of the Marathas and Nizams. And Tipu Sultan, he got the support of the French army. And in this war also, the British won. Okay. And then in 1799, Tipu Sultan died. Clear? Understood? Please go through this chart once again and clear that. Okay. Then next we wanted to discuss another territory conquered by the East India Company through this direct military attack. Okay, that was Maratha, the present day Maharashtra. Okay, like that of Mysore. Here, the East India Company, they attacked the Maratha kingdoms also. Then please see here, 18th century, the company, they destroyed the Maratha power. That time, then Maratha's power also that was going down, because in 1761, after the third battle of Panipat, Maratha's power declined. The third battle of Panipat between Ahmad Shah Abdali, the Afghan ruler, and the Marathas. In this war, Marathas were defeated. So their power was declined. and the dream of ruling from Delhi that was shattered. Marathas' dream of ruling from Delhi that was shattered. Then here this war occurred in 1761. Do you remember the first war of Panipat, the Battle of Panipat? That was in 1526 between the Mughal Emperor Babur and Ibrahim Lodi. And the second battle 1556 between Akbar and Humayun. Third between Ahmad Shah Abdali and Marathas in 1761. Understood? Then the Marathas' dream of ruling from Delhi that was shattered. After this, the Marathas empire that were divided into many states under the chiefs or the sardars. Okay, the different sardars or their different chiefs, they started to rule these dynasties or the different states, and the sardars, they belong to different dynasties such as Scindia, Holkar, Bhonsle and Gaikwad. Understood? These were the different states and ruled by the different dynasties, and the chiefs were held together in a confederacy under a Peshwa, and Peshwas became its effective military and administrative head. Peshwa, the important minister, he started to look after the military and administrative affairs of Marathas. Understood? Then next, here the two famous Maratha soldiers, they were Mahaji Scindia and Nana Patnis. They were the two famous Maratha soldiers. And the first Maratha war that was ended in 1782 with the Treaty of Salbai. Clear? With the Treaty of Salbai, the first Maratha war ended in 1782. And the second Anglo-Maratha war, 1803 to 1805, resulting in the British gaining Orissa. After the Anglo-Maratha war, the British, they acquired Orissa and the territories north of the Yamuna River, including Agra and Delhi. Then next, in the third Anglo-Maratha war, that was from 1817 to 1819, the Marathas were completely defeated and the Peshwa was removed, and then he sent away to Bittur near Kanpur with a pension, and the company, they acquired the complete control over the territories south of the Vindhyas. After the third Anglo-Maratha war, then the south of the Vindhyas, that territories were completely under the control of the East India Company. Did you understand this? Then please see the chart. Anglo-Maratha war. These three Anglo-Maratha war between the East India Company and the Marathas. Okay, please go through this chart and read this chart properly and understood what happened there. Okay. Then thank you. I hope all of you understood. Any doubt, you can call me and clear, and I will send the questions also. Please, you have to prepare, and then last time only less number of students, they send the notes to me. You have to write the notes and send me. I will do the correction and then give the reply to you. Don't forget that. Thank you.